Hey y'all, this is Lou Temple. You know me as Axel on The Walking Dead, and you're watching Rocking Dead with Eric Broadbent on Rocking Dead TV. You follow me?
Hey everyone, Eric here for the EVH and Gear TV network, and of course Rocking Dead, back with another The Walking Dead video for you today in what feels like months since I've last spoke with you. However, I think in reality it hasn't been much longer than a couple weeks, I think. Anyway, I've missed you, and hopefully you've missed me, but if not, that's okay. Before we get into today's video, which is going to jump around more than the time-jumping writer in the Walking Dead writer's room, I suppose I should issue the traditional spoiler alert for both The Walking Dead TV show and of course, The Walking Dead comics. Okay, so here you have it. Spoiler warning, and that's the only one I'm going to give this time. So before I start talking theories and recaps and things of that nature, what I'm more interested in is how are you guys doing? Did I say I missed you? I'm curious how you, the members of the Walking Dead family, are holding up considering Sunday nights are just not the same anymore. How are you biding your time? Are you binge watching the show all over again? Are you watching something new to get you through? Not that my advice is great, but I'll share a few shows with you that I love and maybe help get you through till February when The Walking Dead returns for the back half of Season 9. Breaking Bad. I could really honestly go back and watch that all the way through again, which would mark, I think, the third time I've watched it start to finish. I love that show to death. And useless fun fact of the day, did you know that both Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead share the same casting director, Sharon Bialy? If you knew that, awesome. If you didn't, well, now you do. Next up, Better Call Saul. Of course, a spin-off of Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul can stand on its own legs and then some. In the latest seasons, there are some times where you would not even known that there was a parent show that spawned this one if it wasn't for a few characters appearing here and there from the main show. I'm highly looking forward to it starting back up in 2019. Lastly, one more, Game of Thrones. I've not rewatched it ever in its entirety, but I am caught up to current, and if you're looking for some serious action, death of major characters on the regular, then this one might get you through as well. That's my suggestions. Maybe you can share some with me as well and our viewers here in the comments. Okay, so let's jump back to the show which brought us all here, The Walking Dead. Speaking of grieving, have you guys and girls accepted that Rick is now gone? I, for the most part, have. I feel it's a new show without him. Trust me, he still goes out as being my favorite character to date, but the show has strength and is doing quite well in my book. Was I happy with the killing of Jesus? Well, if they weren't going to use him for anything but filler, you might as well send him off in a brutal death. I will say that it was pretty epic watching him do some of his best fighting to date, and one can only imagine what went through his mind in that split second where he thought he was about to slash another walker and make his escape out of the cemetery, only to have the walker, which turned out to be a whisperer of course, duck and cover, then turn the tables and stab Jesus in his back, clean through to the front of his chest. That was nuts. So here presents another question. What's happening with Negan? He's clearly out of his cell. Many, or at least some of his loyal savior followers dropped signs that they were still and always would be Negan. I mean, that is ones that have not been killed, of course. Do you think Negan will round up what's left to his minions, or do you think he'll team up with the communities, Hilltop, Alexandria, and the Kingdom? I personally feel that he will want to resurrect his force of leadership on the Saviors, but I do not think that will last long, and I do think we'll find him as an ally to our favorite friends in the surrounding communities. I am greatly looking forward to the first on-screen acknowledgement by Negan about Rick's disappearance. We are now taking such a huge left turn from the comics, and we have no source material here to go by, so the story and future of Negan will be 100% in the hands of this show's writers. By that I mean Rick is still alive in the comics, so that puts a monkey wrench in this Negan scenario. What also makes me feel we'll see Negan as an ally, as the actor who plays Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, has been lobbying heavily on social media to make Negan and Daryl best buds on screen, just as they share a fairly heavy bromance off screen. So my bets are on Negan joining the team, but let's not forget, Negan is Negan. He's not going to be like a Walmart greeter with his new apron and name badge smiling and saying welcome to Walmart or welcome to Alexandria, but I do think he's going to fit in. I now want to jump over to another sensitive issue, the time jump of 6 years, the distrust in the communities, especially Michonne, and the X-Scars. Every time I bring this up, I feel like there's a couple people that are so opposed to this that they almost want to fight me. But let's talk about those X-Scars. Both Michonne and Daryl have them in the same place. My opinion, and I certainly want to emphasize the word opinion, is that it was a result of torture by a group that Michonne and the team led into their communities with trust and were double-crossed. Where some of the fans get even more mad is when I talk about baby RJ not being real, or at least no longer alive. Okay, yes, we know he's real. Angela Kang has said he's real. Other people have confirmed he's real, but have they said he's alive? We are seeing some promo for the back half of season 9, and one scene we see Michonne losing her shit, with her old hairstyle signifying the time jump. And by the way, the hairstyle change is not only awesome in appearance, but it does let us know which time period they're in, so it's not so much mind work for us to figure out. Michael Cudlitz, as you know, who played Sergeant Abraham Ford on the show and also came back to make his directorial debut for episode 7, Stradivarius, says we'll find out exactly what did happen to Daryl, Michonne, and possibly others, and very soon, or at least he said we won't have to wait long. Trust me, if I'm wrong about baby RJ no longer being alive, I'll be the first to admit and say I was wrong. I just feel with the amount of stress and almost slightly deranged mind state of Michonne right now that this would certainly have been the catalyst to push her over the edge. Lastly, in all the things that are happening, the long wait for the biggest threat to our saviors since the pilot episode, the Whisperers are here and in full force. I think the pacing on the next 8 episodes, concluding season 9, is going to be fast and furious. And I certainly don't mean like the series of movies. I just mean intense and in our faces. Once again, no pun intended. You get it, Whisperers, masks. Never mind. I'll just stop. I hope to have a couple more Walking Dead videos out for you before Christmas or the holiday season if that term suits your fancy a bit better. But in the meantime, in case I do not, I'll just share a few things that are going on here and wish you the happiest season's greetings just for safe measures. Over on the music side of my channel on EVH and Gear TV, I have a couple awesome guests coming up. Guitarist Steve Stevens of Billy Idol and the new supergroup Deadland Ritual. He'll be on the show tomorrow night, basically one day after this video goes live. Plus, making a return is guitarist Jeff Schroeder from the Smashing Pumpkins. Become a new friend of mine, and it's going to be great. Had him over on my Helix show. Now he's coming over to talk more Van Halen and a little bit more in-depth guitar than we talked about on the other show. And here's one that you'll love, Walking Dead family. Joining me as a live guest on Rocking Dead is James Chen, otherwise known as Cal, from season 6 to 9 of The Walking Dead. That will be this Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 p.m. At 6 Pacific. And it'll be available for replay after as well, too. But if you join in, you get to ask him some questions. Why not, right? Oh, yeah, and I have a birthday coming up, December 22nd. And this one's going to be rough as I'm turning 50. That silence was kind of intentional because I had nothing else to say. I'm not comfortable with 50. But I do feel like I'm 30, so I guess it all kind of works out. So hey, if you want to PayPal me a birthday coffee or a beer, my PayPal address is listed below. We've also got this totally awesome giveaway on the channel right now, our first annual EVH and Gear TV 12 Days of Rockmas. Watch for a new video each day at 10 a.m. Eastern with a new prize package available to be won. This will continue until December 23rd and we'll draw winners in a live broadcast on December 26th. In case I do not get to see you beforehand, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Please be safe, and thank you for making the tail end of 2018 an awesome one by hanging out here and showing your support, kind words, and so much more. You guys and girls are a great part of the Walking Dead family and also an very important part to our family here. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I wish I could do it more often, and I'm going to try to start bringing these videos out on the Walking Dead side more often because I get a whole new audience now that I never had before, and it's an absolute pleasure to speak with you. I posted something on my community page looking for suggestions with some of the other content things that you'd like to see here on Walking Dead side. And several of you have already expressed multiple ideas, and thank you. That's it's a blessing, and I do this because I learn from you guys and girls, and I get feedback. It helps tremendously bring you the content that you want. Anyways, very, very happy to bring you this video today, and I'll do my best to get some more out before Christmas. Well, can't guarantee it, but until next time, cheers.
so long. Inside I know